Yo guys, it's BMM Fitness here and we are back with another video. Now, as you can see from the title of today's video, I'm going to be doing something a bit different, and we're going to kind of start as a bit of a series which we'll probably upload every once in a while, and it's going to kind of be my opinion on things that I've been watching at the moment. So it could be like top Netflix shows, top TV shows at the moment, or even top footballers, or just anything really. But today we are going to be doing probably my top TV shows. I've actually got 7 on the list right here, and I'm going to be giving you my opinion on these top 7 shows that I've been seeing at the moment, I guess. But before we get into this video, please make sure to like the video, subscribe if you haven't already. Please make sure to hit that notification bell so then you don't miss out on any of my new videos coming up. As well as this, please make sure to follow me on my Instagram, BMMF_fitness, and my TikTok, BMM_fitness1. So let's get into the video. So first on my list, I've actually got seven on my list down here, which I'm actually looking at right now. The first one is The Wheel. Now, The Wheel, you'll probably see it on like my left or right. It's a show which they air, I think it's on the BBC, and it's essentially one person, a member of the public, they're in the middle, and there's a bunch of celebrities who have their like special topics, and they basically they ask a question. Okay, how do I explain it? There's a wheel that goes around, and the wheel will stop at wherever it goes to. And obviously beforehand, the person would have chosen a topic, and essentially they got asked the question, and the celebrity works with the contestant to figure out, and whoever gets the most money at the end wins. In a nutshell, that's what it is. It's a very good show. I personally enjoy it. I like certain quiz shows. Other quiz shows I don't really like, but this one is something that I find very entertaining, very fun. Sometimes I get really annoyed when people don't get the answer right. It's just so obvious, but that's a show which I've definitely enjoyed watching for probably the last year. And when it does go on, unless another show's on, I probably do watch that show and I do enjoy it. So yeah, that's a good show that I have been watching as well. And just a disclaimer as well, I don't actually really watch TV that much. So these shows are like shows that I watch maybe like once a week or twice a week. That's it, because I don't really watch TV. But as I said before, we will be having like other series like this. So let's get into number 2. So the second one is Ant and Dec's Limitless Win. I'm not even gonna lie to you, this is probably one of my favorite shows. So basically there's like 2 contestants. I say 2 contestants, they're together, they work together. They could be like friends or partners or siblings. They'll have 2 people. They come, Ant and Dec, who are a famous double duo. They host this show, and they have a bunch of questions, and basically you get given a certain amount of lives. That's the first thing. They get asked a certain amount of questions. Each time they get a question right, I think it's worth 5 or 10 lives. And then also, as well as this, I believe that the money ladder, they can win over £1 million. It depends on how much you get right, and the closer you are to the answer, the more money you can get. And if you get correct answers, like bang on, then you bank in the money, if that makes sense. That's how it works. And it's a numbers show, like you have to get the number right. So one thing that I can say a downside, it's when it's so obvious. So there was this question, right, and I remember it so blatantly because I remember being so frustrated at the people. So the question was, what is the recommended amount of time you should like take to, I think it was like mouthwash? The answer was clearly 30 seconds. The guy said that, oh yeah, it's 30 seconds. Then all of a sudden, their girlfriend just said, oh, you know what, I think it might be 15 seconds, And I said, what? I was like, what type of dentist are you going to? Because that is not what it is. And honestly, that got me so frustrated. They ended up losing 15 lives, and almost like they were able to walk away with some money, but at the end, but they lost a significant amount of lives just because they just didn't get that question right. It was obviously 30 seconds that you should be spending doing mouthwash. And it's those types of things that really frustrate me. But also that show puts me on edge sometimes, particularly when they put it like cliffhangers and it's like, wait till next week until you see it next Saturday. And I'm just like, okay. But it's still a very good show to watch, so I definitely would recommend it. Third on my list is a show called it's called The 1% Club. As you can probably tell, a lot of okay, the first three are quiz shows, everything else isn't a quiz show. So you can probably tell where this might be going. But yeah, the 1% Club is essentially it tests your intelligence in a way. So I think it has the 95% question, and it might have the 90% question, then it might have the 75% question, then it might have the 50%, and it goes all the way down. And I don't know how they do it, but it's kind of like certain percentages until you get to the 1% question, which only 1% of the country would have gotten right. Due to the survey that they've given, and that quiz show is a very good quiz show. I mean, once me and my family, when we watch it together, we always try to do a kind of competition to see who can get the furthest, and it's always really fun, and we always enjoy it. And I think this is a very, very good show. It's not necessarily have to be smart. It's all about your intelligence. Like sometimes it's so obvious, but then like when you see the answer, you're like, oh, that's how they found it. But it's all about logic as well, because all of our brains they work very differently, and we all think differently. So how we come across certain answers might be very different. But it's a very good show, and I just really enjoy it. Um, the fourth on my list was a show called Blackish. This is a comedy show. I love it. It's based in America, and there's two people that I can say that I remember actors. You might know them. There's Miles Brown and Marseille Martin. There's another person, I forgot his name. I think his name is Mark Scribner. And there's some other actors that are very well known as well. And that show is very funny. If you're into like shows like Everybody Hates Chris, then that's probably going to be the show for you. And I like it. I haven't watched it since August though, so I'm not going to say this is regular, but this is one of the shows that definitely stood out to me. And if I was to watch it again, I probably would, just to have a good laugh, because I love it. Some of the jokes, some of the things that happen. I love the dad as well. The dad is so funny, but it's just such a nice family show as well, because they're obviously a family as well. So yeah, that's also another good show. Another one, number five, I've got The Apprentice. Those of you who know me personally would know that I love The Apprentice. Basically, I believe it is. I always get the number wrong. I think it's 12 candidates. It's actually still going on right now. This week is the semi-finals, and I can't wait for it because it's the interview section. But basically, there's a 12 or 15. Someone will correct me in the number. I'll probably put it on the screen somewhere. But there are 12. There's a certain number of contestants. Each week there is a challenge where they have to complete it, and essentially they're entrepreneurs. Just to put it out there, they are entrepreneurs, and they're all trying to gain the right to get Lord Sugar's investment into their business, which is, I believe, it's £250,000. And these guys, basically, these people, they are trying to they have to win every single challenge to try and get to the final, so then they can get their investment. I'm not gonna lie, I'm been so invested in this series. I love the show. It is sometimes I get so frustrated. If you like watching a show of The Apprentice, this can be so frustrating because I believe they're not allowed their phones like the whole time that they're on the show. But essentially, it's like because they don't really have that much social interactions. It kind of shows from their decision making. Sometimes you can find yourself just shouting at the TV because you're like, why did you name it this? Like, I remember there was this, it was actually 2 series ago, they were tasked to make baby food, and it was basically this team, they decided to name it First Time Foodies, but because of the font, it looks like the brand was called First Time Dies, and it was, let's just say, someone was like, the person in the team who didn't come up with the branding, she was on the other side of the team. When she saw it, she said, it looks like we're trying to kill children. And I was like, I agree, because it was, honestly, I was just like, why is the branding so bad? But that series was, anyways, a good series. Honestly, this is one that I would definitely recommend for you to watch. And I love it as well. And sixth on my list is MasterChef Australia. I love that show, literally. I always rewatch series all the time. Obviously I love the cooking. That's something that I love anyways, and I love to do, and I love to watch people do that. But that show is like, there's so many different tasks and challenges. MasterChef is pretty self-explanatory. You know, they're just trying to cook their way to get, you know, an investment. I say an investment, they get money from the show, trophy, and a lot of them go on to start their own restaurants. And it's a great way, if you're into cooking, it's definitely something that's a show for you. And I love that show, MasterChef. I prefer the Australia version. I do like the UK version. The America version, I'm not too much of a fan of, but I do prefer the Australia version, and I love it. Yeah, that's probably one of my favorite shows out there. Literally love it, watch it all the time, and I would definitely recommend it for you. And the last on my list, I'm not even gonna lie, I love this show. Probably literally like I love it. Match of the Day, hosted by Gary Lineker. I know sometimes they have different hosts, but the main one's Gary Lineker. If you're into football, this show is 100% for you. It's a great way it basically rounds up everything that's happened in the Premier League, which is the tournament that happens in the UK. A bunch of teams, 20 teams, they compete to basically win the league, the cup. I love it. My team, we've not been doing so well in the sixth place, Man United. But yeah, Match of the Day, I love it. I love seeing obviously the analysis of the games. I love being able to, it's a great way to basically watch the games as well if you're not able to in the week. It's like you can watch it on a good Saturday evening or Sunday morning. I usually watch it every Sunday morning, and I'll just watch Match of the Day, and I just love that show. It's a classic British show in the way, but I just love Match of the Day. For those of you who know, you know, if you're into football, watch Match of the Day. If you're trying to get introduced into football, watch Match of the Day, because it's just really good. There's not much more I can say. I just love that show. Like, I love it. But yeah, that was me, I guess, showing you my top TV shows that I've been watching or I've watched. This wasn't what I could think of when I was actually typing this up. But I actually, again, as I said before, I don't really watch TV that much. So a lot of these shows is like, I watch it when I can. Apprentice though, and like Match of the Day I watch, and MasterChef Australia, like I basically watch every week. Every other show is kind of like when I want to. But yeah, these are the things that I love, and I'm hoping that if you are interested, you go and check these shows out, because they are really, really good, and they are really good entertainment as well. And yeah, that was me doing the first part of this, I guess, series that I've started, and I just like it as well. But yeah, again, please make sure to like the video, subscribe if you haven't already. Please make sure to hit that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any of my new videos coming up. Please make sure to follow me on my Instagram, BMMF_fitness, and my TikTok, BMM_fitness1. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace.